When The Prestige hit theaters in 2006, audiences expected a twist. They got something else entirely. A film that confessed its secrets in the opening line, then spent 2 hours making you ignore them. Christopher Nolan didn't just direct a movie about magic. He performed one, frame by frame, burying doubles in plain sight while the audience watched the wrong hand. These are 20 hidden details you completely missed about The Prestige. Number 1. The opening line foreshadows the whole movie. Actor Michael Caine asks it in voiceover, calm and measured, like a dealer shuffling cards before the first hand.
Are you watching closely?
It sounds like an invitation, but it's actually a warning. Director Christopher Nolan uses that single question as the film's thesis, a challenge embedded in the first 10 seconds that most viewers hear but don't absorb. Everything you need to understand the twist is happening in front of you, but you're too distracted by the spectacle to notice. The hats piling up in the field, the identical top hats scattered across Tesla's compound. The movie confesses the truth immediately, then spends the next 2 hours making sure you look everywhere except where the answer is hiding. It's the oldest trick in the book. Misdirection wrapped in a question you think you already answered. Number 2. Fallon always stands in positions that protect the secret. Watch him closely in any scene where emotions rise. He hangs back near doorways, turns his face away from direct light, or steps behind furniture whenever the conversation gets personal. It looks like shyness, like the behavior of a loyal assistant who knows his place, but it's actually survival. When Sarah confronts Bordon about his coldness, Fallon shifts his weight and looks at the floor. When Angier threatens Bordon's family, Fallon moves forward first, not out of duty, but out of instinct, because he's the twin who actually loves them. Actor Hugh Jackman studied protective impulses during filming and used to fuel Angier's growing suspicion that something about Bordon's assistant didn't add up. Every frame he appears in is calculated, and once you know the truth, you can see him working to stay invisible. Number 3. Bordon has a different knot depending on which twin is present. One twin ties his scarf with a slightly asymmetrical knot, the loop pulled tighter on one side, a habit formed over years of repetition. The other twin ties it cleaner, more symmetrical, almost military in its precision. Nolan never announces this detail, never zooms in or highlights it with dialogue. It's a hidden costume clue that the audience ignores because the outfits appear identical at first glance. But the difference is there, visible in nearly every scene if you know where to look. Costume designer Joan Bergen carefully documented which twin wore which knot style in her continuity notes, ensuring the distinction remained consistent across months of filming. The knot changes, but the costume stays the same, a quiet betrayal hiding in the fabric. Number 4. The twins use different handwriting styles. In the journal sequences, some letters curve sharply while others are rounded and careful, almost childlike in their deliberation. Viewers assume it's artistic flair, a stylistic choice by the prop department to make the handwriting feel lived in and authentic. But it's not flair at all. It's literal handwriting differentiation, two men writing the same diary at different times, each unconsciously revealing themselves through their strokes. The twins hid their secret even inside their own written confession. If you pause and compare entries side by side, the shift becomes unmistakable. Certain pages slanting left while others stand upright, pressure varying between delicate and forceful. The journal doesn't lie, but it doesn't tell the whole truth either, because it's being written by two people pretending to be one. Number 5. Olivia mirrors the machine. Olivia doesn't just switch sides between Angier and Bordon. She duplicates whatever man she's with, reshaping her personality, her mannerisms, even her speech patterns to match theirs. With Bordon, she becomes grounded and analytical, speaking in clipped sentences and avoiding sentimentality. With Angier, she becomes theatrical and vengeful, her voice rising with emotion, her movements sharper and more deliberate. She's a human reflection of Tesla's creation, a person who reshapes herself depending on the source she's standing next to. Actress Scarlett Johansson played the role with such subtle precision that her character transformation feels invisible until you watch the film a second time and realize she's performing two completely different versions of the same woman. The machine creates physical duplicates. Olivia creates emotional ones. And just like the duplicates in the tank, the version of herself she presents is never quite the original. Number 6. Angier's real name is a clue to his fate. His true identity, Lord Caldlow, hints at aristocratic pressure to be singular, refined, and unique. A man born into a lineage where being one of many is unthinkable. His obsession with being the man in the box reflects a desperate need to own an identity he was never allowed to choose for himself. He can't accept being a duplicate duplicate because his entire life has been defined by the idea that he is irreplaceable, that his name and title make him distinct. But Tesla's machine shatters that illusion, forcing him to confront the possibility that he's just one version of many, no more special than the drowned copies filling the tanks below the stage. Number 7. Tesla's machine always leaves one detail wrong. Every duplicated hat has something subtly off. Dust placement slightly shifted, brim angle a few degrees wrong. Every duplicated cat has fur patterns that don't quite match. Whiskers angled differently. Eyes reflecting light at the wrong intensity. The machine isn't copying perfectly, it's iterating, creating something close but never identical. A flawed reproduction that passes surface inspection but fails under scrutiny. That's why Angier can never guarantee which version of him is real, because the machine doesn't preserve identity. It replicates mass and memory, but something essential is always lost in the translation. Christopher Nolan worked with the prop team to ensure each duplicate had microscopic imperfections, details so small that viewers would feel the wrongness without consciously identifying what had changed. Number 8. The theater lights flicker in Morse code when the machine activates. During Angier's performances, the overhead bulbs blink in a short, long pattern matching Morse code for the letter D, a hidden signal that only makes sense once you know what the machine does. Sound designers confirmed the flicker rhythm was intentional, built into the lighting cues to add a layer of meaning that most viewers would never consciously notice. Even the electrical hum that accompanies each flicker was carefully tuned to create an unsettling frequency, something the audience feels in their chest without understanding why. It's a confession hidden in electricity, a warning that what's happening on stage isn't magic but duplication, and the audience is watching a man destroy himself one performance at a time. Number 9. Bordon's daughter only bonds with one twin. The more tender, emotional twin comforts her and reads to her, his voice soft and patient, his hands gentle when he brushes her hair back. The more focused twin keeps distance, his interactions efficient and transactional, as if he's fulfilling a role rather than expressing love. When the daughter cries after Bordon is taken away, she's not just grieving her father, she's reacting to the wrong twin being arrested, the one who doesn't know how to comfort her the way she needs. Christian Bale reportedly worked with the young actress playing his daughter to establish different physical approaches for each twin, teaching her to respond subtly to which version of her father was in the scene. Her tears aren't just sadness, they're confusion, a child's instinct that something is wrong even if she can't articulate what. Number 10. Cutter's 3 acts of a magic trick describes the entire plot. The pledge introduces the magicians, Angier and Bordon, stepping onto the stage as rivals with complementary skills and opposing philosophies. The turn destroys their lives, each man dismantling the other's career, family, and sanity in pursuit of victory. The prestige brings a duplicate back from nowhere, the surviving twin reclaiming his daughter, while Angier's drowned copies glow under warehouse lights. Even the film's timeline mirrors this structure, jumping between past and present in a way that forces the audience to piece together the trick the same way a spectator would try to figure out how the magician did it. Nolan doesn't just talk about magic, he performs it, using the rules of illusion to build the plot itself. Number 11. Nikola Tesla's real experiments inspired the machines. Nolan didn't invent the machine's electrical behavior out of thin air. He lifted it straight from Nikola Tesla's actual Colorado Springs experiments, using historical records as blueprints for impossible science. The chaotic branching arcs, the flickering bulbs, even the ground-level lightning crackling across the floor were all modeled after photographs and journals from Tesla's 1899 coil tests, when the inventor claimed to transmit electricity wirelessly and generate artificial lightning storms. Production designer Nathan Crowley studied Tesla's original schematics and recreated the coil apparatus with functional elements, blending practical effects with digital enhancement to make the machine feel both authentic and otherworldly. The film's impossible machine is built from real science, blurring the line between historical fact and cinematic magic in a way that mirrors the entire film's obsession with deception disguised as truth. Number 12. Scarlett Johansson's wardrobe shows her loyalty. While she works with Angier, her clothing is rigid and structured. Corsets pulled tight, fabrics dark and heavy, every outfit designed to restrict movement and enforce control. Once she crosses to Bordon's side, her outfits soften into earth tones and flowing fabrics, natural lighting replacing the harsh theatrical glow she wore before. Her costume arc is a secret betrayal timeline, visible in every scene, but easy to overlook because the changes happen gradually. Cinematographer Wally Pfister worked closely with costume designer Joan Bergen to ensure the lighting matched Olivia's wardrobe shifts, bathing her in cold blues when she belonged to Angier and warm ambers once she aligned with Bordon. The wardrobe department didn't just dress a character, they mapped her emotional journey through fabric and color. Number 13. Fallon always reacts faster during emotional scenes. Whenever Angier threatens Bordon's family, Fallon steps in first, not out of loyalty, but because he's the twin who loves Sarah and the child. His instincts betray him, his body moving before his mind can catch up and remind him to stay in character. Those micro movements reveal his identity long before the twist. Small tells that most viewers dismiss as background acting. Christian Bale trained himself to use different physical rhythms for each twin, making Fallon's reactions fractionally quicker and more protective than Bordon's calculated responses. Even Bale's breathing patterns changed depending on which twin he was playing, something the sound mixers noticed during post-production when syncing ambient audio. But they're not background at all. They're confessions, moments where the performance cracks and the truth slips through. Number 14, Bordon only lies when the wrong twin is present. Whenever Bordon gives a vague answer, dodges a question, or refuses to explain himself, it's always the twin who doesn't love Sarah. His evasiveness isn't mystery, it's discomfort. A man trying to navigate emotions he doesn't feel without revealing that he doesn't feel them. He literally cannot describe feelings he doesn't have, so he deflects, changes the subject, or offers half-truths that sound plausible but mean nothing. Christian Bale reportedly kept separate notebooks for each twin during filming, tracking which version would answer questions honestly and which would retreat into calculated silence. Rebecca Hall, who played Sarah, later mentioned that Bale would sometimes refuse to rehearse certain emotional scenes, insisting that the awkwardness had to feel unrehearsed to sell the twins' inability to reciprocate her love. Number 15. Every scene with water precedes a death. A glass spills during an argument. Rain falls before a confrontation. A pipe bursts in the background of a quiet conversation. Nolan uses water as an omen, a consistent visual signal that someone is about to drown, metaphorically or literally. It's subtle enough that most viewers never consciously notice, but the pattern holds throughout the film. Even the opening scene shows water dripping from above, foreshadowing the tanks filled with drowned duplicates that won't be revealed until the final act. Production designer Nathan Crowley intentionally incorporated water elements into sets where death or betrayal would occur, creating a subliminal language of doom that plays beneath the dialogue. Water appears and death follows, a rhythm as reliable as the ticking of a clock. Number 16, Fallon's reactions foreshadow the twist. Fallon always moves first when emotions spike, stepping closer during arguments, shielding the child during danger, or breaking eye contact when Sarah is upset. They belong to the twin who actually loves Sarah and the family, the one who can't help but protect them even when staying invisible would be safer. Christian Bale studied the physicality of grief and paternal instinct to ensure Fallon's body language betrayed emotions he was supposed to suppress. In one scene where Sarah weeps, Fallon's hand twitches toward her before he catches himself and steps back, a micro gesture Nolan chose to keep in the final cut because it revealed everything without saying a word. His protective reflexes quietly reveal his identity long before the film does, each movement a small confession hidden in plain sight. Number 17, the film's color palette reveals who's winning. Warm gold belongs to Bordon, his scenes lit with natural sunlight and amber glow, grounding him in family and reality. Cold blue belongs to Angier, his world soaked in theatrical frost and electric light, every frame drained of warmth. Scenes where they confront each other shift to sickly green, the collision of their worlds creating something toxic and unnatural. Cinematographer Wally Pfister meticulously color-timed every scene to ensure the palette shifted with narrative power, using warmer tones when Bordon holds emotional advantage and colder hues when Angier's obsession takes control. By the final act, Angier's scenes are almost entirely drained of color, reflecting a man who has sacrificed his humanity for the illusion of victory. The color grading isn't just mood, it's a scoreboard, tracking dominance and defeat through hue and saturation. Number 18, Angier's journal lies to the audience. Unlike Bordon's diary, written by two men telling the truth in layers, Angier's journal is pure manipulation. He wrote it for Bordon to read, not for himself. Every sentence crafted to mislead and misdirect. It's not a confession, it's a trap, designed to lure Bordon into a false sense of understanding while hiding the real horror of what Angier has become. Hugh Jackman later revealed that he wrote portions of the journal entries himself in character, treating each page as a performance meant to deceive rather than reveal. Nolan encouraged this approach, reminding Jackman that Angier's entire existence had become theatrical. Even his private thoughts were staged for an audience of one. The journal doesn't document the truth, it performs it. One more illusion in a film built from lies. Number 19, the final shot shows all three acts at once. A spotlight illuminates the stage, the pledge introducing the trick, a disappearing coffin vanishes into darkness, the turn creating mystery and danger. danger, and the remaining twin stands holding his daughter, the prestige bringing back what was lost. Lead editor Lee Smith meticulously crafted the final montage to ensure all 3 acts played simultaneously, intercutting between timelines, so the audience experiences the complete structure of a magic trick in compressed form. Nolan shot multiple versions of the ending before settling on this visual arrangement, testing each cut to ensure the revelation landed with the weight of both horror and hope. Nolan performs a magic trick on the audience as the credits roll, showing them the structure they were told to watch for but never consciously recognized. Number 20, the movie has 2 endings. The emotional ending shows Bordon reuniting with his daughter, the survivor reclaiming the life his brother died to protect. The literal ending reveals Angier's drowned duplicates glowing under warehouse lights, a graveyard of selves stacked in tanks like specimens in a museum. Christian Bale and Hugh Jackman shot their final scenes weeks apart, never seeing each other's closing moments until the premiere, mirroring the way their characters remain separated even in resolution. Composer David Julian layered 2 competing musical themes over the final montage, one tender and hopeful for Bordon, one cold and mechanical for Angier, forcing the audience to hold both emotional truths at once. One ending satisfies the heart, the other haunts the mind, and neither can exist without the other. The Prestige isn't just a movie about magicians, it's a magic trick built from doubles, mirrors, and tiny clues scattered through every frame. A film that tells you the truth in the first line and spends 2 hours making you forget it. Every detail matters because every detail is part of the trick and the audience is the final mark. Which hidden detail shocked you the most, and what movie should we break down next? They're the ones hidden in plain sight, waiting for someone to finally ask the right question.